All right, guys. So we just got back from New York yesterday, where we were visiting to go to CanJam 2025. Now, I have not been to CanJam in 5 years, and I have to say, like, it has grown quite a bit. And if you're not familiar, CanJam is like this exhibitor setup where all of these different companies are showcasing their headphones, IEMs, their amps, their ear pads, but it is more geared towards audiophile equipment. So it's not really true wireless earbuds, which you're used to seeing me cover on this channel. But before we get into all that, I do want to say that this is probably the best trip that I've had in a while. Now, you know, if you follow the channel, I went to CES in January, and that trip was not a success because I was sick the whole time. And I was really looking forward to CES, but that kind of like ruined the whole experience altogether. But this time I felt great. A lot of good things came out of this trip. Now, I did go with my wife. We stayed at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, and this is actually the host hotel of the event. And the beauty of this is really anytime we wanted to go to CanJam, we just jumped on the elevator, went down a few floors, and we were there. So I was able to go a couple of times, make a few rounds. I tested a lot of equipment, mainly over-the-ear headphones. I don't know what it is. There's something about testing IEMs in a place where a lot of people are jamming these things into their ears. Although I know that they're switching out ear tips, it's just gross. So I didn't test out a lot of IEMs. There were a few specific ones that I tried for a reason, and I'll get into that. But again, it was just pretty convenient. Throughout the whole weekend over the trip, we ate really well. We were just, again, dropped right in the middle on Broadway, so it was kind of convenient to get around and do a lot of different things. But CanJam itself, so let me kind of describe this. You go in, and as soon as you go through the doors, you see all of these vendors just set up different booths. They have all of their headphones plugged into different amps. And there was some pretty incredible things. So like the first companies I saw was Odyssey, and I saw Focal. Those are two companies I'm extremely familiar with. And I do still think this, even after looking at all the headphones that I did, I think Focal probably has some of the best looking headphones that I've seen. And Odyssey really caught my attention with the MM500. It's a planar magnetic open back headphone. There was another model there that the guy said I really needed to try, but I didn't get a chance to because everybody else was trying them. And I was just constantly moving around. But throughout the event and some of the companies we saw, Focal, I tried their new, I think it's a new pair of headphones. I guess it's kind of like more of a budget, at least for them. And it was the Haydenese, I don't know how you say it. For its price and the sound and everything that I was getting out of it, it just really caught my attention. Now, again, I try not to gauge a lot of these based off sound in this type of environment because it's noisy. There's just a lot going on, and it's not like the normal listening environment you're going to check out these headphones and products anyway. But Fio, when I checked out one of their closed back headphones, it was plugged into one of their own amps. Now, this is the K11. It's a very small desktop amp, and I was blown away at the amount of power this little amp was producing. So I've already added this to my cart. I am going to get this to use pretty much as like my everyday desktop amp because I like things not to take up a lot of space. I like things very simplified. This was just like a simple USB-C connection. So definitely picking one of these up. And then another company that was there, and this is just for the love of what they're doing. You have to appreciate what headphones.com was doing. They had some of the most interesting looking headphones. And again, I think this was just to grab attention, but they had like the Scrub Daddy on the outside of some ear cups. They had French fries. They had this one, I don't even know how to explain it. So I'm going to show it here, but it's like two huge bowling balls at the end of hamster tubes. And also while wearing these headphones, they had people wear this gold medallion, like, I don't know if it was like a bass amplifier. But again, it caught attention, which is what it's supposed to do. But you could see these guys just constantly working and answering questions. And you can tell that they just loved what they do. And one creator that's a part of this is DMS, which I was really happy to finally be able to meet because we've communicated throughout the years. In fact, DMS is going to help me on this channel with putting together the equipment to get measurements on headphones and IEMs because I'm going to start covering those a lot more on this channel. This is where my interest is. This is where my love for music is. And I think it's just going to show more because I'm covering it on the channel and I'm talking about something like I'm fully into. So I appreciate the fact that he's helping. It was awesome just to be able to finally meet him. It even got to the point one time where he said, yeah, just come back. So I was behind the headphones.com booth, like right in the middle of the showroom floor, and he wanted me to check out this pair of IEMs, but he didn't have a pair of ear tips to switch it out to. And he's like, you know what? I know just the guy that we can get ear tips from. And we went over to Cren's booth because he was debuting his new IEMs, which we're going to talk about. And we just went over and kind of like pulled him to the side. He had ear tips to be able to slap right on this pair of IEMs. I was able to test them right there. And then DMS was testing out Cren's IEM. It was just kind of like a surreal moment for me because these are two creators I am a huge fan of, and the fact that they were able to take the time not only to like pull me around the showroom floor, but Cren took the time to talk to me when I came over to check out his IEMs. He was showcasing all the different collaborations that he's done with other companies. He has 3 new IEMs coming out. He suggested that I checked out the Project Meta. He again wouldn't give a whole lot of information as far as what drivers. I think he's kind of holding that back for when he actually releases these. But it's impressive. He said they were under $300. I think the sound quality, again, on the showroom floor, just plugged straight into my phone. It was very, very impressive. And I think, you know, especially from a smaller, you got to think smaller manufacturing, I would think this was going to be a much more expensive product. And same thing with DMS. I was able to check out his Project Omega headphones, which I know has been out for a little while. He's releasing them in like small batches. He said that he's going to release it in one more batch, and that's the last one. And it is one of the most lightest headphones I've ever put on my head, but I was so impressed again. And this one's kind of hard to gauge because it's open back and in a atmosphere where there is nothing but a large amount of noise. It sounded very, very impressive just in that environment. So I can't wait to get a hold of those, possibly to be able to test them or check them out here at home where there's not a lot of noise going on. But some other companies that I was checking out some things is Moondrop, which I think we've covered almost everything Moondrop on this channel, or at least a lot of their newer releases. Techniques or Technics, I don't know how you say it. You know, we checked out the AZ100 true wireless earbuds. So I was curious to how their over-the-ear headphones would sound. And they had a pair of wireless headphones there. And I was curious to how it would match up with the true wireless earbuds. As far as tuning goes, man, again, really impressed, especially in that kind of environment, which this pair of headphones is kind of made for. It's Bluetooth. It is noise canceling. It is a pair that you would be walking around with and using noise canceling to try to block a lot of that out. And I think these came in at under $300. So it's right in there in that range with Bose and Sony's. But outside of that, I did walk by Sennheiser's booth. I didn't test out anything, check out anything, because we have some bad blood there. I used to get Sennheiser stuff all the time. I did a review of one wireless microphone, gave my opinion on some issues that I had, and then they just kind of blackballed me since. So, you know, and I even swear that this lady cut me the eye when I was walking by the booth. So again, I think there's still some bad blood there. I also got to see the company Grados. Now they're actually from that area. It's always been like a family owned business. So it was nice to be able to talk to the actual owner of the company, hear what he has in store, even hear some of their headphones. And they're even going to be releasing, or at least trying to get into the gaming market, which I thought was kind of cool. So, you know, that's kind of a heads up on what's coming from them. And I did walk by this one booth that it was a company called TNA. They had a pair of Bluetooth headphones that looked like one of the most luxurious pair of headphones I've ever seen. It was called the Solitaire T. Now, I did reach out to them about getting a pair to hopefully cover on this channel, but if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a wireless pair of noise canceling headphones that retails for over $1,000. I think he even said it might have been $1,200. Now, again, there was a lot going on this weekend, so I could be crossing paths as far as information goes, but hopefully I'll have a video on those or have one in my hands to be able to check out. And another creator I was so excited to finally be able to meet, because we've known each other for a long time just from online, was Brian from Bad Seed Tech. If you've checked out gaming headsets, headphones, keyboards, mice, just so many different peripherals, I think, that he's covered. He's just a good dude. We stood there in the middle of the showroom floor and talked for a while. And we are going to make this happen where I visit him near Boston, and we are going to go to a game at Fenway Park. He said something about it. I'm going to hold him to it. Me and my wife are going to go up there and just enjoy that atmosphere with him. But he was so personable. Again, it's like we've known each other forever, and we've known of each other, and we've communicated for a long time. But it just seemed like we were two friends just hanging out, and it seemed very genuine, which you do not see a lot in YouTube. You don't see a lot in the creator world. You see a lot of, hey, I'm your friend while things are good, and then when things are not, those people disappear. So again, Brian showed that none of that stuff matters. So it was a good weekend. Between the food, the people I got to meet, the audio that I got to test, the time that I got to spend with my wife, that was very valuable because it's crazy all the time. We have a lot of things going on, and we don't genuinely or generally get to do that much. And I also got to go to B&H. That's like my favorite place in the world. If you've never visited B&H, I know you've probably seen their thick catalogs. If you are a techie, or if you're a tech nerd, or anybody into audio or video stuff, that's the place to go. It is like 3 floors of the most, vast collection of different things that you can buy. And it's so cool to see when people order stuff because it's all on rails on this conveyor system. You see it in buckets. Like, that's how it gets to the register. If people buy online, that's how it gets to the shipping department. It's insane if you've never actually been there. So I know I'm getting wordy. I know this has probably dragged on longer than it should have, but I had a great weekend. I wanted to share it with you guys, and it kind of gives you a taste of some of the things that is going to start being covered on the channel. Kind of gives you an idea of some of the things that I really want to get my hands on to cover on this channel. So it's going to be a little bit of a slight pivot. I want to get into that more. Now, it doesn't mean I'm bailing on wireless headphones or wireless earbuds. I still obviously have a passion for that. I bought wireless headphones and wireless earbuds while I was in New York. But I'm opening up, to the audio world a little bit more and starting to bring in a lot more of my where my interest really is, and I think it'll show more on this channel. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos, and as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.